Praise to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi. Peace, salutation to the hopeful elect scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. Learning or teaching this gospel in truth and sincerity. Shalom. Yeah, I'm out here preaching the word right on the highways and byways, right here by Lewis Park. Yeah, the freeway was blocked off, so I just got to the nearest spot. Had to, you know. Yeah, we know we in the end times though. The Belarus, Russia's nuclear threat, you know, to Belarus, and you can take it on the. They got the aircraft to take those nuclear weapons over there too, you know. So this is the end time. We in the last days, so we just want to come back to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi. It's time to repent, you know. Come on, I'm gonna start it off with that Matthew. Yeah, also Salaki, also with the money wise, you know. They're bringing in that CBDC, you know, the palm reader over there, the Amazon payments in Florida, you know, and it's getting implemented all around, you know. Yeah, just like that. They had the push thing to push the water out. You push it, a little scan card, so you know what's coming next. Yeah, in Kenya too, they told you like don't hold your money because you know it's coming right now, that CBDC, and it's just gonna come over here too. You know, Babylon's on the way because that Fed now is coming in July. You know. This is book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 17. From that time Yahawashi began to preach and say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the kingdom of heaven is at hand, you know. This is how it went down. Yahawashi he got baptized in that water before he had to preach the gospel, you know. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's time to come back to Yahawah, Yahawashi. Yeah, Esau, bro. Yeah, try to come back to Yahawah, Yahawashi, and follow the ways of Yahawah, Yahawashi, you know. Come back to these law, statutes, and commandments in the faith of Yahawashi. The Khanum started off with that. Get into that flesh versus the spirit, you know. Because we was all born into the flesh, you know, just like how Yahawashi was, you know. So he could show us the path, you know, the straight way. You know, John paved the way for him and passed it down to him. Now we know what to go through, because Yahawashi went through it as well, you know. And we're born into a sinful nation, you know. Paul knew also. That's why I'm gonna get that Romans 7 and 18. This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 18. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For the will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. So So Paul knows right there that right there Paul knows, you know, that in his flesh dwelleth no good thing. So, like I was saying, you know, so he knows that what makes us right is like the spirit, because what we're going against is the flesh. So come. You know, it's the flesh against the spirit. The flesh lusteth against the spirit, you know? And it's like, God, that's how you know that we're prisoners in this body, you know, in the flesh. We're prisoners as well. God, we're in bondage, you know? Like Sodom and Egypt, this is the house of bondage, you know? That's why we don't want to be partakers in this, you know? God. So, yeah, like I was saying, Yahawashi had to put on the flesh as well, you know, in order to fulfill prophecy, you know, and in order to feel that human temptation as well. You know, because we feel that temptation too. We're fighting the spirit every day, you know? The flesh lusts against the spirit. Call all y'all for shooting on shot, bro. Hey, you got bugging, man. Yeah, so this is I'm gonna get into that Hebrews chapter 2. Start at verse 14. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, and verse 14. For so much, then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil. Verse 15, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. See, like I was saying, like we're in that bondage, you know? Like that's what it's getting into right there. We're prisoners in the flesh. That's what I'm getting at. You know? Yes, that's how you know. And then verse 16. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. The seed of Abraham, the flesh, you know, the seed of sperma, you know. Wherefore in all things it behoved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be merciful and faithful high priest, and pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. So we see right there in that verse 17 that Yahawashi, he did this to be made like his brethren, you know, and to made like us, you know. And he's a high priest. He's merciful and faithful, you know, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people for us. That's why Yahawashi died for us. He died for our sins, you know, so we can be partakers of his blood, you know, by that water baptism in the name of Yahawashi for remission of sins. Verse 18, for in that he himself suffered Salaki. For in that himself he has suffered being tempted, and he is able to succor them that are tempted. So yes, Yahawashi was tempted as well. So since he was, that he's going to be able to help us that are tempted. So we're gonna cleave to Yahawah B'Shem Yahawashi when we're being tempted. We're gonna be in that glory of Yahawah B'Shem Yahawashi. Always call on Yahawah B'Shem Yahawashi when we're going through something, you know. Yeah, this is so I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get how the. Galatians real quick. Yeah, this is the book of Galatians. I'm gonna start at chapter 5 and start at verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, that ye not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Like I was saying, we don't want to fulfill the lust of the flesh. This is the spirit against the flesh, you know. This is spiritual warfare out here, you know. I'm gonna get into that as well. This is a spiritual battle, you know, spiritual war. You know, we're fighting demons and spirits every day, you know. So, verse 17: for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary to one another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh, see, you want to walk under the spirit, you know? That's how you, through the faith, and you stay in the spirit. Because then you know, because you still got to do the law, but through the spirit and the faith, that's how you maintain it. Because the law wasn't voided, you know, like that Romans 3:31. It's through faith. Let me get that real quick. Romans chapter 3 and verse 31. Do we make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yeah, we establish the law. So, we do the law through faith as well, and the law's established, man. Come on. Faith and works, Without faith and works, it's dead works, So come. Verse 18, but if ye led unto so verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like of these which I tell you before, as I have also told you in the time past, that they that do such these things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. So yeah, like they say, like you're coming back into the kingdom as a baby, it tells you right here, plain and simple, you can't inherit the kingdom of God if you're doing these things, especially if you're not following the ways of Yahawah. So come. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. And against such there is no law. And they that are Mashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and the lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. So yeah, we don't do this for vainglory. I don't preach the gospel for vainglory. I'm saying to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, looking for the elect, Yahawah. That's why we walk in the Spirit, since we live in the Spirit. We got it once we came to the true gospel, Yahawah. So we want to stay in it to the end, endure to the end. Time's getting short for the elect's sake. So we gotta stay in these scripts. This is a key to survival right here. Staying in these scripts and staying focused to Yahawah. You don't want to fall short. You only got one chance at this, and you're just trying to make it right. Come. Get that. Get that Romans. Book of Romans chapter 8, verse 1. Therefore no condemnation to them that which are in Mashiach Yahawah, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. So that's how you know that you're of a Mashiach Yahawah, and that you're having the faith and you're doing the laws, that and there's no condemnation to that, because you're not walking after the flesh, you're walking after the Spirit. Come. For the law of the Spirit of life is in Hamashiach Yahawah, had made thee free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own Son in likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. So to be like Yahawah, we have to walk after the Spirit, and not the flesh, like how Yahawah, he walked after the Spirit. He walked in the Spirit when he was in the flesh out here. So come
on, Annie.
That's how you get away from that sinful nature.
Annie, come on. I'm sorry, I didn't even see your phone here.
It's all good, it's all good.
Annie, come on. Annie, come on.
This is verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit do things of the Spirit. So we do the things of the Spirit. We don't do things after the flesh, For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. You don't want to be spiritually, want to be spiritually minded in this. You don't want to be carnal minded. You want to walk after the flesh, because the carnal minded is dead. You know, and like it says in Romans 6:23, the wages of sin are death, but eternal life is through Yahawashi Mashiach. You know, Yahawashi is the way to eternal life. So, verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God. Yeah. Those that are in the flesh, you can't please Yahawashi. Like that's why it says right there, the carnal mind is enmity against God. You know. That's why a lot of people judge off the outward appearance out here, carnal minded, you know? God, I went through it twice last week, you know? So it's nothing, man. So I'm gonna get that. Let me get that A. That A. I'm going down to verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subject the same in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. So you know, that's why you turn to Yahawah for hope, you know, and that corruption. That's the flesh, you know, because when the body is corrupted, it dies out, you know. So that's why we turn to Yahawah for everything, you know, the glory and everything, for hope, like I was saying beforehand. You know? But like how I was saying, like that corruption body dies. This is how you get everlasting life through Yahawashi, though, because like how, you know. Just like in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, if you die for Yahawashi, that's how you will get everlasting life through the faith. But Yahawah Radazal, you have to elect. You'll be risen back up when Yahawashi comes. Now, spirit against the flesh, and you know that. So I'm going to get into that Ephesians 6 and 12. Start at 10. You know, because it's spiritual warfare out here, you know. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Come on, I'm going to get that 1 Peter 5 and 8 to line up with that. Because we're fighting the devil, man. We're fighting Satan, you know, his demons and spirits. We're fighting against them, you know, daily. You know? That's how we're on this straight and narrow path, you know? Knocking down false doctrine, knocking down everything, staying on the right path, you know? This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. We'll start at verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, he may exalt you in due time, casting all care upon him, for he careth for you. So if you're in the ways of Yahawashi, he cares for you, right? When Yahawashi got baptized, right, he said, in whom my son I am well pleased, you know? So like he cares for you if you're doing the ways of Yahawashi. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking who he may devour. You know? He's seeking. They're seeking whom they may devour. The devil's seeking you, trying to devour you, you know? That's why we gotta have on this armor of faith, you know? I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna continue now in Ephesians 6. Yeah, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You know, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. You know, and that's what we're going through. You know. Going through fighting the demons and spirits, you know, from high places, you know, daily, you know. Spiritual wickedness in high places, you know, and that's why it's good to fast. Like I'm saying, I'm gonna go over why it's good to fast in this video, you know. Because you could be fasting from music, from social media, from of course food and water, you know, the full fast, 24 hours. Because our forefathers and our foremothers fasted a lot to get visions, and you know, to get heard. So Yahawashi Yahawashi would hear them, and it afflicts your soul. It humbles you. You know. You get this. First Peter 5:8 again. So I was on verse 8 for that 1 Peter 5. I'm going to read that verse 9 now because this lines up right with it. So verse 9, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that your same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. You know? So you stand firm for the faith, you know? You stay strong in your faith. Remembering that your brethren and your sisters are doing the same thing in the church of Yahawashi, you know? They're staying strong, and enduring to the end, like us, Yahawah, we get that crown, you know? Verse 10, but the God of all grace, who had called us unto his eternal glory by Hamashiach Yahawashi, after he suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. So you know, Hamashiach Yahawashi, we suffer for a little while, you know, but he will restore you and help you and strengthen you, you know. You know, verse 11, to be glory and dominion forever and ever. Come on. You know, and that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to have that power forever and ever, be of the elect, you know. So Yahawah Ba'ashim Yahawashi is gonna help us, and he'll place us on that firm foundation, you know. He's the foundation, you know, like in Hebrews 6, you know. Paul talks about it as well, you know. This is verse 13. For Ephesians 6, verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day, and having done all, standing therefore having your loins girt, and with the truth having on a breastplate, of righteousness. Yes, you want to gird your loins, man. You got to be brace yourself. You know, you got to be ready out here. That's why we vigilant and watch. You know, we're always ready. Watch ye therefore and pray. You know, we're always ready when the devil comes against us, man. Because we got that armor of faith to be able to fight against it, you know? Chopping it off like a machete in the garden, you know? Like the brother Hawiyala said, you know? On that straight narrow path, just chopping off and going forward. You know, we ain't looking back. You know? Like the plowman, he keeps it going forward. Like I was saying in my lesson on the plowman, man, you wanna move forward. Yeah, I'm going to get into that, go into fasting. I'm going to get into that book of Mark, chapter 9. This is the book of Mark, chapter 9 and verse 17. And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which hath a dumb spirit. Wheresoever he taketh him and teareth him, and he hath foameth and gnasheth with us teeth, and pinneth away. And I spake to my disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. So you see, the disciples couldn't cast out this spirit, you know, the spirit that was in his son, you know, because that's how you know that we have to some of these spirits that come attack us, you know, we gotta have they could be stronger, you know, so we gotta fast. That's why we gotta fast to be able to knock off those spirits, because those spirits will be attacking us, and those will be the stronger ones that we can't control. But through fasting, we can control them. You know, because Yahawashi hears your prayers when you fast. He has the magnifying glass on your prayers when you're fasting. So, come on, I'm gonna continue on. Listen, he answered him, saith, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? Come on, see, that's what this is out here, though. You know, it's a great example. It's a faithless generation. You know, Yahawashi is not going to be with us forever, is what he's telling the disciples. And right now, Yahawashi is not with us, but that's the faith that we believe in him. You know, something we can't see. And Yahawah be of that number. You know, and you know, he cares for his elect. You know, he prays for us. You know, Yahawah be of that elect. You know, that's why we're waiting on him. We're waiting for these chariots to come out the clouds, you know? Behold, he coming with clouds, you know? We're waiting to hear that trump, you know, that trumpet, that last one. That seventh one, man, completion, you know? God. Oh, this is, I'm gonna continue on. How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. And they brought him unto him, and when he saw him straightway, the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground, wallowed and foaming. And he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, of a child. And oft times it had cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. You know? Khan, like, he's asking for the help, you know? You feel me? Like, he's showing. Wait, I'm gonna read on verse 23. Yahawashi said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. You know? So anything's possible with Yahawashi, you know? Through the faith, man, you know? All things are possible. Just like, you know, keep it going. Verse 24, and straight, you know, like Matthew 19, you know? Get that out real quick. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 26. Yahawashi beheld them and said unto them, with men, this is impossible, but with Yahawah, all things are possible. You know? So man, nothing's possible with flesh, you know? Flesh is corrupt, you know? With Yahawashi, that's spiritual, you know? Like the fasting, that's spiritual, you know? God, let me get that, let me continue on. So, as we see, he said, Father, I have believed. And straightway, the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help though my unbelief. So you see the father shows that, shows his faith, and he says, help me with my unbelief. That shows you that, through the faith, that we can increase our faith, you know, help us with our unbelief, you know, like the apostles in Luke 17:5, they said increase our faith. So there's always room to improve and increase your faith. That's why you pray in Hebrew and you pray for you pray to get your faith increased. It's like I said, all things are possible with Yahawashi. God. Yeah, and then that's facts right there, you know? So I'm going to continue on. And when Yahawashi saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit and said unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee out of him. Enter no more into him. And the spirit cried and rent him sore, and came out of him, and he was one dead. Insomuch that many said, He is dead. But Yahawashi took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he came into the house, his disciples asked him privately, Why could we not cast him out? Yeah, because the disciples were casting out spirits beforehand. They're like, why couldn't I do this? Because the spirit was strong, you know? Like I said, that's why we have to fast, to be able to knock out those spirits that come on us, you know? Feel me? Even the demons, you know? Even demons that come on us, you know? So, verse 29, he said unto him, This kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. So we see by prayer and fasting what helps to get you to knock out that spirit that tries to come on you, the strong spirit, you know, because even the disciples couldn't handle that strong spirit. But with prayer and fasting, they would have been able to. God. I'm gonna get into that. Just another example. Bear with me, I'm getting to it. I guess I'll keep going over it. Yeah, I got it. God. It's the book of Tobit, chapter 12, verse 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness, and a little righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. You know? So this is prayer is good with fasting, and it's alms. It's righteousness, you know? This is what the angel Raphael was telling them, you know? That's why it purge away all those sins, you know? You know? Verse 9, for alms doth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin, that though exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life. You know? So this is where it's at, you know? The prayer and fasting. You know, I'm gonna get that 2 Corinthians. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. Start at verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. You know, because it's verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but the mighty through God to pulling down of the strongholds. Verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself, knowing itself against the knowledge of God, bringing into the captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. So our weapons aren't carnal, you know. It's through the stronghold of Yahawashi, you know. You feel me? This is how we're fighting. fighting these, pulling down of the strongholds, you know, through Yahawashi. It's not carnal weapons, spiritual weapons. That's why fasting and praying helps us to knock out, to fight these spiritual through our spiritual. We fight these demons and spirits. Is what I was trying to say. You know. In verse 5, we're casting off every imagination, every evil thought. You know. This is like that's why we put our thoughts on Yahawah. You know. Like this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 3. Commit thy works unto Yahawah, and all thy thoughts shall be established. You know, so we know with the spirit and demons coming at you with these negative thoughts, you commit your works unto Yahawah b'Hashem Yahawashi, and your thoughts shall be established. So Yahawah b'Hashem Yahawashi knows where your spiritual thoughts are. He knows what your heart thinks. He knows your heart, Salakia, and Sakan. That's how you fight it. You know? I'm gonna get that. Let me get it off of here real quick. 2 Timothy. Yeah, so this is 2 Timothy chapter 2. And I'm starting from the top. Therefore, my son, be strong in grace that is in Hamashiach Yahawashi. So by the grace of Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi that we came into this truth, that we're thankful to be in this truth, thankful to live another day, to hopefully be of the elect, to Yahawah Radazah, you know, thankful for everything, all glory given to Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi, you know, like that 1 Corinthians 10 and 31, you know. And these things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, that the same commit though faithful man shall be able to teach others also, you know. So by being through the faith, you know, that you be able to teach other people, you know, or able to pass this on to others. So that's what you do. You teach this truth, and Yahawah Radazah, they pass it on to other people, you know. That's that fellowship right there, that brotherly love, you know. Come. Verse 2, and therefore endured hardness as a good soldier of Hamashiach Yahawashi, of Yahawashi Hamashiach. You know, we endure sufferings, you know. We endure to the end, you know, that we shall be saved. We're enduring through these hardships, you know. Like Jacob's trouble, Yahawah Radazah, we endure through that. Being a soldier of Yahawashi Hamashiach, you know. That's how we do this. By being a soldier, you know, like in the battlefield, you know, like a warrior for Yahawashi Hamashiach. No man, verse 4, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. So, Khan, as you see right there, you don't want to be tied up with the affairs of this life, you know, because that doesn't. You want to please Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi, you know. That's what I'm saying. You can't satisfy Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi if you're pleasing this life, you know, tied up in the affairs of this life. You know, that's why I said you got to move forward. That's being a soldier of Yahawashi Hamashiach. By moving forward and trying to grow and stay plowing the scripts, man, trying to grow. Let me get that 18. This is 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 18. This charge I commit thee, Salakia, this charge I commit unto thee, son Timothy, according to the prophecies which went before on thee, that thou mightest, Salakia, that thou by them mightest war a good warfare. You know, you want to be fight well in Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi's battles. You know, that's why that's a fight, that war a good warfare. You know, Because that's what we're fighting against, these spirits and demons, you know, trying to endure to the end. So we gotta fight this good warfare, you know. Yahawashi. Verse 19, holding faith in a good conscience, which some having put away concerning faith have made shipwreck. You know? So Khan, you want to hold on to your faith, stand firm in this, like how we stand firm in this doctrine to the end, you know? With all these people coming against our doctrines, we got to stand firm on this like a warrior, you know? So Khan, you know? And the ones that violated their conscience, their faith was shipwrecked, you know? You know? So putting away concerning the faith, you know? It made them shipwrecked, you know? That's no bueno, you know? You don't want to violate your conscience, you know? And verse 20, of whom is Hymenaeus and Alexander, whom I have delivered unto Satan, that they might not learn not to blaspheme. So you know that they're Hymenaeus and Alexander are examples of this, you know? That's why they were delivered unto Satan, you know? So they would learn not to blaspheme God. You know, you don't want to blaspheme Yahawashi, you know? Because you're going to get turned unto Satan like how they did, you know? Come on. The book of Luke. It's the book of Luke, chapter 22 from the top. Now when the feast of the unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover, and the chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people, then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. So we see that Satan came upon Judas, you know? So that's why I said when other people attack you, they have Satan on them, you know? That are attacking you. That's why you gotta remain humble and be meek, you know? You know? Because he giveth grace to the humble, you know? And he resisteth the proud, you know? So it's like, that's what this is. That's why you gotta fight the wiles of the devil, you know? He's trying to devour us. We got to stand holding our faith, you know? Because, yeah, like the brother Caleb dropped a video on that as well. It's like Satan's tactics, you know? You know? This is a Zachariah. Let me get that example too as well. Salaki, I was on Zephaniah. Yeah, that's why we need to come back to Yahawashi. People over here looking at me crazy and stuff, you know, like, come hear the word, you know? Come on. Yeah, like, we ain't gonna be out here, you know? Famine of the word's on the way, you know? The plasmas, we're seeing it on TikTok, you know? They got the plasmas that can knock off the grid right there. And South Korea has satellites to knock off with the EMP bomb, you know? Khan, I'm right on it. Let me get it. This is book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days to come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but hearing of the words of Yahawah. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east, and they shall run fro and see the word of the Yahawah, and they shall not find it. You know? This is famine of the word, man. We know that there's going to be famine of food, right? But that famine of the word's coming too. And what are you going to do? You know? Like the Public Enemy album, you know? What you going to do when the grid goes down? Because Esau already knows, bro. It's all by design. New World Order. You know? And like I was saying with the Russian war, yeah, once NATO fights against, because Ukraine's army's almost outdone. It's almost all gone. So once NATO comes in, once NATO starts fighting Russia, you already know what's going to happen. That's officially starting the war. We know once Russia invaded Ukraine, that's when it started, but that would be official, you know, because the United States is with NATO. Babylon's with NATO. And we seen Putin was with China, you know, with the China dictator. And we know that it's prophesied that these nations shall be formed and come against Babylon, you know? And we know that's when Yahawashi is going to come, man. Yahawah, man. Yahawah, we have to elect. Yahawah comes sooner than later is what I'm saying, you know? Because we know those prophecies are going to come to pass. His word is not void. His prophecies all come to pass. Zechariah chapter 3 verse start from the top. And he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of Yahawah, Satan standing at the right hand to resist him. So we see right there that Satan was there at the angel's right hand accusing him of many things, you know. And this is how Satan works, man. You know, this is his verse 2. And Yahawah said unto Satan, I, Yahawah, rebuke thee, O Satan, even the Yahawah that has chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee, that is not a brand plucked of the fire. Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. You know? So he rebuked the accusations. That's what rebuke. That's why you want to rebuke these demons and Satan and these spirits. You know? Yahawashi rebuked it. You know? God. That was another example I wanted to get into. God, let me get one more in Job. Yeah, it's spiritual battle, man. It's fighting the flesh every day. Spirit against the flesh every day. I'm gonna get this Psalms. The book of Psalms chapter 4 and verse 3. This is why we want to be set apart, you know? Like, we're holy, we're saints, we're trying to be set apart. It's the book of Psalms chapter 4 and verse 3. But know that Yahawah has set apart him that is godly for himself, and Yahawah will hear them when I call unto him. You can be, yeah, so like you want to have that stand firm, like how I was saying, you know, and be set. Yahawah set us apart, you know, for himself. And Yahawah will answer to whom call on to him and follow his true gospel, you know. You know, it's like we're standing firm, you know, like how Allen Iverson, man, when he says, when I go on that court, I let everything out. I lay it all out on there. I lay it all on there like this is my last time being on this court. Because that's how we lay out our firmness on this doctrine for Yahawah, coming out here by any means doing the works by our lot, you know, putting it all out up there on the line like this is our last day, because tomorrow's never promised. You know, standing up against the wiles of the devil, you know, holding our faith. You come at me, I'm gonna come stronger. You come at me hard, I'm gonna come back 10 times stronger. You know, seek him 10 times more. Luke 4:28. So this is Job chapter 1, I'm starting at verse 9. And Satan answered Yahawah. So Salakia. I'm going to start at verse 7. And Yahawah said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered Yahawah and said, From going to and fro the earth, and from walking up and down it. And Yahawah said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God, but escheweth evil? And Satan answered Yahawah and said, Do Job fear God for naught? So he's saying it's without a good reason, you know? It's for nothing, you know? You know? So verse 10, Hast not thou made a hedge about him, and about his house, and about all he had on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. So Satan's saying like you've always protected him, you know, and he's rich, you know, like you blessed him already, you made him prosperous, you know. This is verse 11. But put forth thy hand now and touch that he hath, and he will curse thee thy face. So he's saying like if you take everything he has, like he's gonna go against you, you know, and curse you to your face, you know. Verse 12. And Yahawah said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahawah. So Yahawah's like, all right, test him then, you know. He said to Satan, you could do whatever you want to him, like you want with everything. You could do with everything that he possessed. You could do what everything you want with that he possesses, you know, but don't harm him physically, you know. And Satan left the presence of the Lord. And you know, that shows you Satan left after that, right? So Satan listens to Yahawashi. You know who's in charge, man. And like I was saying with that famine of the word, you know, like and that shows you that Satan's to and from the earth, man. He's on the earth, you know. He's attacking us, you know. We're fighting his demons and spirits, you know, daily. You know, Satan's on this earth, man. That's why the devil knoweth he have a short time, you know. And I'm gonna get that second Esdras chapter 5. Second Esdras chapter 5. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell on earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of the truth shall be hidden. So like all you women that don't want to have a hedge, what are you gonna do when the power's out? You know, that's famine of the word. You know, and like that's why you need a covering for your women. If not, you're gonna be destroyed. Straight up. It's just how it goes through the scriptures, Yahawashi, you know. And the land shall be barren of faith. You know, there's not going to be a lot of faith out here, you know. This is all about faith, you know. That's what I'm saying. You want to stay with the faith, the Yahawashi. Verse 2, and iniquity, Salaki, yeah, but about that famine, you know, the famine of the word, you know. Like, just people who, that's why you want to stay in these scripts. So when that time, when the power's out, you will have that discernment to have that true doctrine. You'll be able to know how to study on your own when you're to the net. You know, like how Eli in the book of Eli, how he opened that book and he's by himself. You want to be able to know how to understand these scriptures. That's why this book is so valuable. They took it away during the Roman persecution. You know, like this book is valuable. They did it in the book of Eli, and they did it in the Roman during the time of the Romans. You know, so Verse 2, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And the land that thou seest now to have root shall be wasted suddenly. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of iniquity increasing, you know. And this land's going to be wasted, you know. Verse 4, but if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trump that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. Come. I'm going to keep going. And the blood shall drop out the wood. Yeah, so that lines up with that Zechariah chapter 14, though. You know, the end time. This is that end time prophecy. And the blood shall drop out the wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled, and when he shall rule, whom they look not for dwell upon the earth, that the fowl shall take their flight away together. And the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish, and make a noise in the night. And they might have not known that there shall be a voice thereof. And there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again. You know, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. You know, so come. So we see that these plagues are coming, you know, and those animals, you know, the wild beasts are going to be out, and animals are going to be eating people, you know, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, you know, filthy women, you know, bringing out monsters, you know, and this is wicked times, man. So verse 9, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another, and then will hide itself, and understanding withdraw herself into his secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, yet not be found, and then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency be multiplied upon the earth. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of unrighteousness, you know, on the earth, a lot of wickedness. You know, since I was right there too, get that verse 14. So we got Second Esdras, chapter 14. Second Esdras, chapter 14, verse 13. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort of them and be in trouble that renounce corruption. You know, like you want to set your house in order, and you know, reprove these people. You know, you want to rebuke any, like how I was saying earlier. You want to rebuke that, rebuke any false doctrine, rebuke anyone going against you. You know, comfort them as in trouble. You know, comfort the people of the people in the faith, the household of faith, you know, in trouble. And renounce corruption, you know? You want to go against corruption. That's what we're getting into. You know? Like, rebuke that corruption as well, you know? Verse 14, let go away from the mortal thoughts and cast away the burden of men. Put off now the weak nature. So you want to put off that weak nature, that old man, you know, the mortal thoughts. Like I was saying, you put all your thoughts onto Yahawashi, you know. Put all the thoughts to Yahawashi, like Proverbs 16 and 3, you know. Verse 16, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. You know, greater evils that shall be done, you know, like how I brought out in my video beforehand, you know, plagues. The Second Esdras is 16, you know, these plagues are not going to slack, you know. For me, it's gonna get evil out here, you know. People are going to be coming into people's houses and looking for food once they get hungry. Verse 17, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evil increase upon them that dwell therein. For the truth is fled far away, and the leasing is hard at hand. For now hasteth the vision is to come, which thou hast seen. Yeah, we see right there that evil is going to increase upon this world, you know? As the more time comes, the more day by day, it's going to get worse and worse. It's going to wax worse and worse, you know? And the truth is fled away, man, you know? It's like how 2 Ezra chapter 5, man, it's a famine of the word, you know? That's what it's getting into, famine of the word. What are you gonna do when this famine of the word comes, you know? Like, we ain't gonna be out here when Jacob's trouble is come popping off, you know? That's come on now. The book of Mark, chapter 4, start at verse 14. The sower soweth the word, and these are they by the wayside wherein the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. You know? So, that's some more of Satan's tactics, you know? He comes, he takes away the people, like someone that walks right here and hears me preaching, Satan comes and takes them away, you know? And it just happened a little earlier. Someone came and looked at me, thought he was gonna come hear the word. No, Satan kept it pushing, bro. You feel me? Like, so when someone hears this word, they get it for a minute, someone's gonna come in the way and take them away, like their grandma or someone, you know? Or like, you know, like the phone stopped right now, you know, and it went out. Satan, bro, you know? Come on. You get that Daniel chapter 10 to getting back into that fasting, you know? Come on. Lucky. Let me get that Joel though first. Slacky, I was thought I'm dead. Yeah, bear with me. I'm trying to find that Joel real quick. Now I got the Daniel 11 already ready. So this is Joel chapter 2. Start at 14. Who knoweth? Salaki is it? Yes, Salaki is Joel chapter 2. Yeah, this is Joel chapter 2. Salaki out, because it's dark kind of, so. Verse 14, who knoweth if he will return and repent and leave a blessing behind him, even a meat offering and a drink of offering unto Yahawah your power. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast and call a solemn assembly. Gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children those that suck the breast, let the bridegroom go forth his chamber, and the bride out the closets. You know? So like, yeah, you can fast with the brethren, you know, just set it up, but we don't want to fast like the Pharisees and boast about it and let it be known to the whole world. That's why we don't tell everybody, you know? So come, you know? This is all part of like the sanctification process, you know? It grows you more to Yahawashi, you know? Come. Yeah. It's like how I was saying in that Joel, like you know, that Joel, Salaki, yeah, that Joel. So like in that Joel, you know, like that's how we get to Yahawashi, you know. I'm gonna read verse 13. And rend your heart and not your garments, and turn unto Yahawah your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repented him of evil. So yes, Salaki, I forgot to read that. So like that's how we know that how we came back to Yahawashi. It's Baruch, you know, in chapter 4, verse 28, and we seek him 10 times more, you know, and then that's why we fast though, like that verse 14 I read, you know, 14 and 15, you know, that's why we fast. I'm gonna get that Daniel chapter 10. Start from the top. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar. And the thing was true, but the time anointed was long, and he understood the thing and had understanding of the vision. And in those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks, and I ate no pleasant bread. Neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth, neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. And the 24th day of the 1st month, as I was by the side of the great river, which is Hadekel, then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold, of you fast. So we see in that verse, that first 3, he was fasting for 3 weeks. So like I was saying, Salaki, I know you could. We're not saying to fast for 3 weeks, you know, because we know that the Yahawashi and Elijah and Moses and they fasted for 40 days, 40 nights, you know, and like we know we can't go that long. If you look online too, there was a pastor that did it and he ended up dying, you know. It's only of the elect, you know. If we were had nothing to eat, you know, we would do that, you know. But for now, we just go off the Spirit for how long we want to fast for. We're not telling you how long to fast for. We just get it done by Yahawah through the Spirit, you know. Like you know, that's what that's getting into, yeah. So I'm gonna continue on. For Daniel, start at verse 6. His body was also like, verse 6. His body was also like beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as the lamp of fire, and his arms and his feet like in a color and polished brass, and in the voice of his words like a voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, saw alone the vision, for men that were with me saw not the vision, but a great quaking fell upon them so they fled to hide themselves. So we see through fasting, he got a vision. Daniel got a vision. So we see it multiple times in this book, when someone fasts, Yahawashi will give them a vision, or they will hearken unto them, and they will hear them, you know? So come. Therefore I was left alone, and I saw this great vision. There remained no strength in me, for my comeliness was turned into corruption, and I returned no strength. So we see that he saw a vision, you know? Yet heard I the voice of his words. When I heard the voice of his words, then I was in deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground. And behold, an hand touched me, was set upon my knees and upon my palms of my hands. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understanding the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright, for unto thee am I now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. So we know that Yahawashi hearkened unto him, and you know, did the works, you know, and came and did the works for Daniel, you know. And then he said unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thy heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I came for thy words. So you see, the first day he fasted, Yahawashi was moving on the prayer to what he fasted about, you know. So that's why it shows you how powerful these prayers are, you know. You know, and like, mind you, that verse 11, it shows you he was on a fast, you know. In verse 13, but the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. So you see, Michael the archangel helped him, you know, and that's Yahawashi doing the miracles, you know. You know, like hearkening on to his fasting, hearing his prayers, you know. And it's like that Proverbs, let me get that Proverbs 21. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahawah. As the river of water, he turneth it wheresoever he will. You know, that's what happened right there, you know. Yahawah's in control, you know. He had that spirit working, you know. It's like that. I could also get that Job, you know, in the book of Job. You know, Daniel was sleeping, right? And in verse 9, you know, it's the book of Job. It's the book of Job, chapter 33, and verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when a deep sleep falleth upon man, and slumbering upon the bed. Verse 16. Then he opened the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. You know, and that's what happened. You know, he sealed that instruction. You know, God, like. That's the works of Yahawashi, you know? Sealing the instruction when he was asleep, you know? He came through for Daniel. So come. You know, that's why I said, like, our forefathers and foremothers did this all out throughout the Bible, you know? And you're starving the flesh and feeding the spirit, you know? That's what it's all about. That's why you got to do it. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, in verse 6. Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? So you see what you're doing in that fast. You're loosening the bands of wickedness. You're getting those spirits and those demons off of you. You're fighting them, you know? And like I said, Yahawashi, once you pray, he has that magnifying glass on your prayers. He hearkens unto your prayers, you know? Come. You know, that's what it's all about. Man, dumb dark out here, you know. Hey, I'm still gonna put in the work though, you know. That's why you fast though, man. Come. To loose off the bands of wickedness, you know? To take off that yoke. You know? Stay in the spirit, you know? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 35, and verse 13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into my bosom. So you see right there, you know, that buy some sackcloth, you know. This was King David. He fasted, you know, and it humbles your soul. Like I was saying, this is how you afflict your soul. It humbles you, you know, and your prayers, you know. Like I was saying, Yahawashi is gonna hear your prayers when you do this, because he heard David's prayers, you know, when he did this. You know, let me get that second address. This book of second Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 20. And so when I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like Uriel the angel commanded me, and after 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me again, and my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again. You see that? He fasted for 7 days, and his soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and he began to talk with the Yahawah again. It brings you closer to Yahawashi, and it gives you that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, like I say, Yahawashi, he fasted 40 days, 40 nights. You know, and he didn't fall. He fought against the devil. You know, the devil tried to give him the kingdoms of earth, and he didn't take it. You know, he said, "I don't tempt the Lord thy God." You know, just paraphrasing. You know. He standing firm in this. That's why Yahawah is a perfect example through the baptism of fire, you know? Let me get that chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 31. If thou wilt pray yet more and fast 7 days again, I shall tell thee greater things by day than I have heard. You know? Verse 32. For thy voice is heard before the Most High, and for the mighty hath seen the righteous dealing, and he hath seen also thy chastity, which thou hast had ever since thy youth. And therefore hath he sent me to show thee all these things, and to say unto thee, be of good comfort and fear not. You know, that's why we only fear Yahawashi, you know. And it shows you right there that he fasted 7 days again, and even start at verse 30, and these words said he unto me, that I come to show thee that the time of the night to come. So he fasted 7 days, and he told him greater things, you know. So it's come. That's how you know. That's how you know. That's how you know that Yahawashi will tell you things. You know, if he will hearken onto you, Salaki. He will hearken on to what your prayers. If you fast, you know. Because you know, like the Most High was telling him things through fasting, you know. So it's important to fast, you know. And through the angel Uriel as well, you know, told him. And he got understanding through the Most High, you know, like in that chapter 5. So this is a. Trying to look for that name. I'm gonna bring out that Nehemiah. This is Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 1. Now in the 24th day of the month of the children of Israel were assembled with fasting and with sackcloth, so like sackcloth, and the earth upon them. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all the strangers and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. That's why you want to separate yourself from this world, you know? You know, you got to be a pilgrim, you know, like the brother was talking about, Salakia, the brother Amante, like in 2nd Ezra 16, you want to be a pilgrim, you know, in these times, man. And they stood up in that place and read in the book of the law, Yahawah, their God, 1/4 part of the day. And another 4th part they confessed and worshiped their Yahawah, their power, you know. And they stood up to the stairs of the Levites, Joshua and Bani and Kadmiel, Shabbanah, Bunny, Shababiah, Bani, and Kanai, and they cried with the voice unto Yahawah their power. And the Levites, Joshua and Kadmiel, Bani, Hashabniah, Haji, Shabaniah, and Pathiah, stand up and bless Yahawah your power forever and ever. Blessed be the glorious name which is exalted above all blessings and praise. You know? And that's why we exalt this name, and it's a blessing to have this name, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, the true names, you know? Come on. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 9. Defraid ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, that come together again, that say and tempt you not for your inconsistency. So yeah, you want to fast and prayer to stay away from that Satan tempting you in that inconsistency. Because Satan's trying you through the demons and spirits. That's why it's good to fast and pray and study. You know? How you doing? How you doing? Good. If you want to hear, if you got any questions, just let me know. For sure. Yeah.
Are you a pastor?
No, I'm not a pastor. I'm a disciple of Yahawashi, Yahawah and Yahawashi, the true names of the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, of the Father and the Son, Yahawah, which means he exists, and then Yahawashi means that he is salvation. And the letter J wasn't created until the 1500s, so that's how I came through studying and through my testimony, just learning this Bible, that was not the true name, because it's also categorized with Caesar Borgia, who is because he's really black. This is who Caesar Borgia is, the false god. He's because Yahawashi is his true name and he's black. Those are some precepts right there. Revelation 1 and 13 shows it. Yeah, that's what they pushed on us in captivity to our people of the 12 tribes of Israel. And it's a false name. It's because Caesar, they put that. That's why the cross they forced it on our people. I can show you actually when they did that. Execution coordinates it with his request. He was executed and strangled with the Garo guy on July 16, 1533. His clothes were was Christian burial. He was later succeeded by his brother. But yeah, right here, this photo, this was a Jesuit priest right here that was pushing this on our people during captivity. And with that cross is connected to that name, Caesar Borgia. Jesus Christ is connected to that name. Because it was Leonardo da Vinci who created, for Pope Alexander was his father of Caesar Borgia, his son. He made that for him, like that. Leonardo da Vinci painted that image for people to worship it, and that's why it's on these churches today. And yeah, it's all deception what we're going through, our people. Yeah, I'm trying to spread the word. See who wants to come back to Yahawah and Yahawashi, and if you believe on it, I could baptize you in the name of Yahawashi for remission of sins to receive the Holy Ghost. And then you start your path, and you move, like in Hebrews 6, it says in Hebrews chapter 6, this is the principles of Yahawashi, and you move on to perfection that way, to your way, your path. That's the path to everlasting life.
I think it's good that you're doing everything.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it.
My son, Pastor.
Oh, yes, we don't, that's why we don't do that like I was telling you, because they worship the cross and stuff. It tells us in the book of Acts, don't dwell in temples made by hands as well. So that's why this is my church right here. Just preaching. I'm in a congregation for the Church of Yahawashi. So today was the Sabbath, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. So I was just preaching the word. We were trying to find people who want to believe. The lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Well, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you, man. God bless you, huh?
Have a good one. Wrought 34 and 26, and I'm gonna wrap it up. I read Nehemiah chapter 1. I was going to bring it out, but they fasted in that chapter too. Because I already brought out chapter 9, so I was like, I'm just going to bring it out. You feel me? Man, my hands are freezing, bro. Like, yeah, but like, yeah, that's why fasting is important, you know. Like, even when David had his son, you know, he fasted, right? You feel me? Like, it's all spiritual, man. This fasting is spiritual. That's why when you're fasting, people are gonna come at you like, oh, you want some food, you know, because it's spiritual, bro. Those Satan, you know, it has those demons, man, and those spirits, man. But it's also part of our trials, the baptism of fire, you know? Come on, so this is lucky get that make us a rock. Chapter 34, 26. So is it with the man that fasteth for his sins and goeth again and doeth the same, who will hear his prayer? Or what doeth his humbling profit him? So you see right there in that precept, like, you don't want to go back to doing the same thing again, you know? You don't want to commit that iniquity. Keep doing that sin and sin and sin, you know? Because it's not going to profit anything, you know? You want to put on the new man and put on that new creature after you get baptized in this water in the name of Yahawashi for remission of sins. And you want to fast for your sins and do the right thing, you know? Stay forward and keep continuing, enduring to the end. And you know, your humbling will profit, and he will hear your prayer, you know? Come on. There's an upside to it if you do hearken and follow, take heed to Yahawashi, you know? Come on. That one that I was looking for too. This is the book of Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 21. I proclaim a fast there at the river of Yahawah, and we might afflict ourselves before our God.